Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I'm so happy to be back on the Syberia Designs channel with this really fun card with the stamp set from all of us. It is such a fun card to make, such a great design for anyone's birthday. I already made a very similar one when the Kickstarter first came out, but I thought I had to make a video on this, so this is it. And I did make the card a little bit different. So to start out with, I am using the From All of Us stamp set, and I am stamping it on a piece of cardstock that is 5 by 5.5 inch. I do like to work when I am stamping with a very large stamp with a piece of paper that I can trim down in the end, so I don't have to stamp it exactly in the right spot. It's a little bit awkward with the misty if you have to stamp right up to the edge. So I like to work on a piece of cardstock that is slightly larger. That is going to make your life a lot easier. Now, the second part of this is I use some Post-it tape. Any kind of masking paper will work. And I put it over the top line of critters there, and I stamped it again with Memento Tuxedo black ink. Now, this Post-it tape is not great for stamping, so I did have to wipe off most of the ink so I didn't smudge it everywhere. But I just trimmed out all of the critter heads, and I am using those as masks. Just to be sure, I am also using a piece of purple tape to put on the row below it, so I definitely don't stamp where I don't want any stamping to be. I am trying to figure this out with the stamp still in place in my Misty, but I realize that I have to just replace it for the second portion of stamping. I want to fill an entire card front with these critters, and it's really easy to do with a simple masking trick. You can definitely just use masking paper. You don't need to use Post-it tape. I just don't have masking paper. Please don't ask me how I never bought masking paper in the years I have been a card maker. It still confounds me to this day, but it never makes it into my card when I place an order. Now, the second part of this card is to die cut a piece of it. I am using a heart die from Spellbinders, just a basic die. Any shape will work, but hearts are always fun. Now, this stamp set from Syberia Designs does come with a couple of smaller stamps to fill in and decorate some critters. So I gave this little dog a bow tie. It's really easy. I just did that with just an acrylic block. You don't have to use your Misty for this. And then I can start coloring. And I am only going to color the critters in the heart. So this is quite a fast card to make. Now, I am a pretty slow colorer. Don't take the video footage that you're seeing right now as the actual speed I color in. I'm trying to leave the caps of the markers. I'm using Ohuhu markers standing there where you can see them, but I forgot a lot because I haven't colored with these in a while on video. So I kept forgetting to put the markers there. But I'm just using some grays, some browns, and obviously I had to make some orange cats because my cat is also an orange cat. And also because they're a great pop of color in a group of critters. So if you can make an orange critter, why not? Speaking of color, I did quite a bit of thinking about the color in this card because there's not a lot of it. Even the critters are mostly, apart from the orange ones, are mostly muted colors, natural tones, so they don't really pop. And the rest of my card will be black and white. So I actually thought during this coloring, I was trying to figure out how to color the accessories on the critters. One has a little bandana around his neck, one has the bow tie, there's one with a sweater. So I was trying to figure out if I had to color these in different colors all, or yeah, just which color to pick. I spend a lot of my time coloring thinking about the colors I'm going to use for the rest of my card. In general, for all my cards I do this, but with this one it took a little bit of extra time because it was just there was something about this card that I didn't love when I first made it, and I wanted to improve on it, and I did that with the color. So I chose green in the end because it's a great contrast to the orange, which was really the only color in this card so far. So it's a great pop of color, especially against the orange. I do bring in a slightly more blue tint for the dots on the pug's sweater, but that's it. Pink for the ears, obviously, but yeah. Let's say that green is the only color here. I wanted to incorporate that in more pieces of the card, so I also chose to stamp and emboss my sentiments on some green cardstock. This perfectly matched my green accessories of the critters, but if you don't have colored cardstock, or if you don't have an exact match or a close enough match, just color your own cardstock with the markers you used. That's a perfectly valid option. I would have done the same thing, but I lucked out on my green cardstock and I have a great match here. So I just stamped that with VersaFine Onyx Versamark ink. I stamped it with Versamark ink, clear embossing ink, and I embossed it with white onto green cardstock. I love that look. And I die cut the sentiments with the coordinating dies. So I love that Alex Syberia Designs has some coordinating dies for their sentiments. It's a great addition to coordinating die sets. I love when companies do this. To put my card together, I actually trimmed this panel down a little bit because I wanted to incorporate more color. And I am adding a little strip of that same green cardstock to one side of my card. I chose the left, but the side doesn't really matter. And, well, the side matters. I was going to put the sentiments on the right side of the heart, so I wanted to add more color to the left side of the card to balance it out. See, there's a lot of thought that goes into card making. And I also backed that heart panel with 2 layers of white cardstock to add a little bit of dimension between the stamped panel and that green cardstock strip. More dimension I'm adding to the hearts. So this is an eclipse die cutting technique, or an eclipse coloring technique. It's been around for years, and it's a great way to step up your card design and not do a ton of coloring for background stamps. So you just die cut a shape out of your stamp panel. That's the one you color, and you also die cut that shape a couple of more times from white cardstock. I die cut it 4 times out of white cardstock, so this is quite a thick and bulky card, but it sets it apart so nicely. I'm just finishing up the critters here because I realized that I left the noses blank, and I like to color those in black. So yeah. To adhere my sentiments, I'm using some thin strips of foam tape. I'm actually doubling up on the foam tape because I wanted to match the height of the heart. And I am putting some glue on the back of that as well, so I can wiggle it around if I need to. I would have loved to add some green embellishments to this, or that was my first plan, but I didn't have great green embellishments. So I stuck with these clear hearts. You can barely see them on camera. They pack more of a punch in real life. And I really like that I stuck with clear embellishments because now the green definitely pops off this card. It's a really fun graphic look with the green sentiments and that green strip on the left side, but mostly a black and white card. I really, really love how this came out, and I am very much happy that I did this card design again, because the first time I did it was a slimline design, so it was a lot taller, there was a lot more critters on there, and there was not as much color on it, so I'm very happy how I improved this design. I hope you like it too. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well so you can see more of my inspiration, but also there will be some guest designers on this channel and some more fun people with more fun inspirations, so you definitely want to subscribe and see those as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.